Hello, everybody, and happy Friday. Everybody, you are watching Movie Couple Live. Welcome to our live stream where we talk the latest in movie news and pop culture. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And on today's stream, we're talking TIFF Line Up.
The next Pixar film, Lucas.
And because it's Friday, we're going to do a little AMA Ask Us Anything time. And we're also going to be debuting our super fun movie bunch photo collage. A lot of you have sent in your photos. And I put some final touches on it last night. And just as a disclaimer before we show you this towards the end of the show is I am not a master at photoshopping
but she
or
did still
photo
did an
editing.
amazing job.
You say that because you're my husband.
No.
I look at it and I'm like, oh God.
I say because it's a lot better than I could ever do.
Well, you guys, thank you all so much for joining us. Sorry it's on a different day. We have some weekend plans and won't be able to stream tomorrow, so we are deciding to do it today. So thank you to those of you who are able to be here and watching us live, and to those of you who weren't able to catch it. Sorry, and we will be back on our regular schedule, which is Wednesdays and Saturdays by next week. So it doesn't happen often, but it happens sometimes. So where am I hearing? Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
For a second, I was like, well, yeah, what was that?
There we go. All right, you guys. So, hey, late to the party.
Hi. Hey, guys, how's it going?
How are you? We miss you guys so much. Dustin, you're wearing Jack's favorite house, House of Stark. I remember when GOT, when I first watched it, first episode, I was like, yeah, I'm rooting for this house. And then like third episode, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't root for anybody. Because they don't
whoever you root
they
for
don't stick around.
Is probably going to die.
They don't stick around for a long time. So you guys, before we jump into the topics and the AMA here, let's go ahead and get to the announcements. Super short. Just letting you guys know what latest videos we have on our channel, and that's two of them. There is the spoiler review for The Old Guard. We did a non-spoiler review. A lot of you guys were like, yes, please. We asked you guys if you wanted to see a spoiler review. A lot of you said yes. So we went ahead and did a spoiler review. So go ahead and check that out. It is on the channel. And we also put up a brand new vlog today. So it should be live on the channel right now. And it's our COVID testing experience, and you can kind of get to see a very condensed version of that, because it took us the whole experience maybe like an hour and a half,
which was actually
impressive.
Short. We thought it was going to take like 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, we had snacks in the car, we had water, we were ready, and it turns out that we actually didn't even need it, because we were done with it. And we're happy to report that at the time of that test, we both tested negative for COVID. Yay! Whew. So. And we haven't felt any symptoms since then, even though we've gone to like the stores for essentials. So there may be coming a time where we feel like we want to do the process again. But as of right now, I think we are A-okay. Yeah. Hello, Sergio and Ricky and David and Jack, Vanja, Noah, and MK Songbird. Woo-hoo! And David and Debbie and Steven.
Our whole movie bunch. Late
to the party. All right. Okay. So I don't have any news flash today, so why don't we just jump into the TIFF lineup? What do you think?
That sounds good.
Okay, so I want to leave a lot of time for just like chatting back and forth with our movie bunch and do some AMAs. So you guys know that TIFF isn't going to actually like happen physically this year. I haven't read completely thoroughly on their decision to how they're gonna do it this year, but I'm gonna assume that it's similar to like a Comic-Con, and like you know how I guess you would have to, if you're press, you would have to apply for a credential to get the screening links to said TIFF movies, and then you'd put up your review. And then for the public, I'm guessing if you pay for a certain amount of money, then you maybe get to entry to watch. Because what they do at TIFF is, and I went for my first time last year.
Which I'm jealous.
So much fun. Like I just had such a blast just watching movies all day.
I know, and I was so excited because this year was going to be the first time that I was going to be free in September, and I was like, oh, we get to go to Toronto. I can go to Canada. I can check out Canada. I can go see a whole bunch of cool films. And then, of course, 2020 happened. But I'm super excited to see some of the films that they are putting out. So hopefully we'll be able to get the credentials that we need in order to be able to watch and stream all of these movies.
I'm not sure if I missed the deadline for that. I have like a really, really bad habit of like looking at an email and then forgetting about it. And then later on, I can't find it. And we also have our first super chat. I gotta find it.
I am terrible with emails. That's why this one's in charge of all.
I don't like my hair. Sorry, I just gotta take it down. Okay, so real quick, Chris's choice for Chris's choice today. Thank you, Chris Mendez, for your super chat. Here it is, you guys. Let's get ready for this. Ready your soul for Chris's choice. What are your 5 favorite 80s movies? Mine are The Goonies, The Breakfast Club, The Karate Kid, Return of the Jedi, and Back to the Future.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay.
Ooh,
those are good ones because
we get 5 choices.
Actually, for this one, the 3 of you, the ones that you picked, are also 3 of mine because I have had, those have been like my favorite movies of all times. Goonies, Return of the Jedi, and Back to the Future.
Yes.
For me, though, I'm going to throw in 2 different ones besides Breakfast Club and Karate Kid. I'm going to throw in Princess Bride.
Yes.
Because I have loved that movie ever since day one. I saw that movie, and that was what made me want to go into fight choreography, made me want to go into acting. I was like, this is, oh my God, I wanted to be the Dread Pirate Roberts. I wanted to be Wesley.
You wanted to be Wesley.
And there's one more. Oh, probably maybe Indiana Jones is a good one to throw in there for me. I will give myself a little bit of leeway to allow to switch that one in and out with some other ones. But Indiana Jones is like the one that just pops in my mind at first.
For me, is that 5 for you?
That is 5. So that's Return of the Jedi, Goonies, Princess Bride, Back to the Future, and Indiana Jones.
My list is actually really, really similar to Chris's. The Goonies, The Breakfast Club, Return of the Jedi, I'll say Princess Bride, and then Back to the Future. So sorry, we're not being like super creative, but those are the ones that's on my. And it kind of sucks because it's like I want to put Indiana Jones in there too, but I can't take out The Breakfast Club. Like I love The Breakfast Club. So
I was a little, to coin some good friends of ours, late to the party when it comes to The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
So I didn't originally see The Breakfast Club until much, much later. So I didn't really get a chance to have that be such an impact on my life kind of a thing.
Yes.
To where when you see it at a younger age, it just hits you a lot better. Now, I have to admit I'm going to add some cheesy, guilty pleasures in there.
Okay.
One of them that I loved was The Three Musketeers with Oliver Platt, Chris O'Donnell.
Is that 80s?
I think that's That might
be early.
Actually,
90s.
No, that's early 90s.
I feel like that might be early.
But
90s.
That was one of my guilty pleasures. And recently, I went back to watch it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, even though it's funny and there's a lot of one-liners in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite hold up. But Tim Curry does an amazing job
as the Cardinal, right?
Cardinal.
Yeah, so good. I forgot that it was him in there. Starju, who's watching from Twitch today, says, "Me either. I didn't see The Breakfast Club until I was in high school." So yeah, kind of you're not the only one. And let's see what some of the choices you guys are picking for Chris's choice. Let's see. David writes, I love all the movies with the exception of The Goonies, which I thought was just okay. And yeah, Indiana Jones is a good one. Vanja says, no Terminator fans.
As soon as you mentioned that, I
knew we were going to forget something Terminator. And then MK Songbird writes, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Die Hard. Beetlejuice.
Oh my gosh, those are some amazing ones that just sometimes just slip your mind.
Yeah.
That you're just like, oh my gosh, that's right. But yeah, those are all good. Terminator, Beetlejuice. Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely. Super, super good choices, guys.
And then let's see. Debbie says Karate Kid, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Indiana Jones, and then David also added on to say The Predator or Predator.
Yep, yes, that's a really good one too. E.T. Oh yeah. E.T. No, I have to admit, E.T. is a classic. It was amazingly well done. It didn't hit me when I first saw it. I don't know. I was like, oh, this is a good movie, but it didn't have that special effect.
E.T.?
Yeah, where it's like when you're like, oh, this is the greatest movie ever made.
Him and Elliot went and rode their bikes to the moon. E.T.
Ouch. But yeah, it was still an amazing movie. Don't get me. For me, there are other movies that had a bigger impact on my life than E.T., which is not saying that E.T. wasn't amazing.
Yeah. Exactly. And also they're adding aliens in there as
Mhm.
well.
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
Aliens. Yep.
Great choices, you guys.
Those
There's a lot. See, every time Chris gives us like multiple more choices, and I'm like, oh, five. I
are.
can do
I
it.
think like
And then
wait
here comes the
no.
chat. Here comes our movie bunch, and they're like, what about this? And I'm like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, five choices isn't enough. That's why Chris gets Chris's choice, because these
Mm-hmm.
questions are always amazing. And we also have another super chat from Ricky, who watches from
Hey
India.
Ricky.
Says, hi couples. Your Indian fan Ricky here. Any plans on watching and reacting to Bollywood movies? Because many Americans and K-pop channels are reacting to Indian movie trailers and songs these days. I would love to do more of these
Mm-hmm.
if they stop getting blocked. I don't know what it. I don't even care if they do like a
Well, what would it
copyright
be?
claim,
Mm-hmm.
but like, because I see other, and I see exactly what Ricky is saying here. I see tons of channel do it,
Yeah.
and of recent. So their videos go up and it's totally fine. Our video go up and it's
I,
like blocked, and I'm like, what happened? We spent time watching it. I spent time editing it, and then none of you. It's happened twice now. None of you guys can enjoy it because it gets blocked worldwide, and I'm just
yeah.
like, ugh.
And I was hoping like, hey, oh, you know what? Maybe we can just put it on Patreon. But the thing is, we can't even do that.
I might have
But
to switch
has
gears and put it on Vimeo and then put
oh
it on. I'll try it that way and see what can be done, because I still have the raw files. So
oh
they're
yeah.
we did them, we shot them, they're edited. It just sucks. It just sucks because like I want everybody to see. But yeah, maybe I'll try plan C and plan D because A and B failed miserably. So thank you, Ricky, from watching from India, and thank you for your super chat. We absolutely will continue to try. As long as we don't get blocked, then you guys will get to see the video.
So I got a quick question for you, Ricky. If okay, for example, if someone said, I have never seen an American movie before, I would say, okay, you have to watch Star Wars, you have to watch Princess Bride, you have to watch this. There's very few Bollywood movies that I have seen. What are some of your recommendations? Maybe we can see if we can find them here in the States, and maybe we can do a reaction and review on them.
And we will put it on a different. Who knows if it gets
Maybe,
blocked.
I mean, maybe we'll put
we'll
it up.
try. We'll certainly
Yeah.
try, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noah, Ghostbusters.
Noah says Ghost.
Oh
yeah, in the chat, kind of
how
going
could I have
back
forgotten
to
Ghostbusters?
your top 5 80s movies, Ghostbusters as well. Some people already said it in the chat too.
Oh no, that's just the first time that my eyes caught
I
it.
see. And then David mentions Blade Runner, and Francisco says Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Duh. Some kind of Wonderful Breakfast Club, Star Wars, and Monster Squad. Starju says, hey, I enjoy the Bollywood version of Cheetah Girls. I would watch that. I would watch that. Considering how obsessed I am with K-pop,
is it actually called Cheetah Girls?
No, there's a Cheetah Girls here in the States.
Yeah.
There's a Bollywood version of it. I don't think it's called Cheetah Girls.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can find it.
Well, we'll find it. I'm sure if I Google it, we will find it. Thank you so much for your support, Ricky. Thank you. Thank you for watching all the way from India. Oh, what did I do with... Where are we? Okay. Sorry, just wanted to make sure. What's what? Okay, so TIFF Line Up. So yeah, this year it doesn't look like they're doing it. I don't know exactly like what the protocol is to do it this year because everything's going to go digital. So we will see. But I wrote down some of the. Then there's tons of articles out there. If you just type in like TIFF 2020 lineup, there's tons of like lists and what's going to be showing. So there's a couple that I am interested in. There's I'm gonna say this title wrong, but I think it's called Ammonite or Ammonite. There is also Bruce, Concrete Cowboy, The Father, Get the Hell Out, One Night in Miami, and I believe that's the one that is directed by Regina King. Let me just find it. Yeah, Regina King. Ooh. Which is sounding so interesting to me. True Mothers, I think, is another one. Yeah, True Mothers. There's just, I didn't even get to go through the whole bunch yet because there's a lot, and I'm just so excited for like the lineup at TIFF. I had such a positive experience last year that this year I'm just kind of like, okay, it'll be a little different. I won't be sitting in a Cinemark theater. I won't get to eat like all the fancy food. There's no poutine. There's no.
We'll have to find a recipe for poutine just so we can make it and eat it. It won't be the same.
We'll try though. So, are there any of the titles that you guys are excited about? If there are, let us know in the chat.
I'm going to find it really interesting on just how well this is going to flow.
Yeah.
Because since it's the first year kind of going 100% digital,
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see exactly how it might change the reviews and change the effects. Because when you
Yes.
are there, I can only imagine,
Yes.
you're in a certain mood, you're in a certain vibe, you're in a certain atmosphere to where you're eating, you're drinking, you're talking with friends, you're going to go see a movie, then you immediately get to sit and talk about it and interact with everyone and be like, okay, well, now that we've had this time to sit down and talk about it, let's go see another one.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like in one day you saw like 5 movies? No, the most that you saw
I
was
think
6,
the most
wasn't
I
it?
saw in a day was 5. I think the most I saw in a day was 5.
Which is like,
Which is it's like
that's
if
like
you're a
10,
movie enthusiast, like
12
it's
hours.
so good. And the lineup for last year was so good because we had
Oh,
Hustlers,
yeah.
we had Parasite, we had Joker, we had Knives Out, we had what else? Waves. I can't even. That's like only 5 out of the 50 million that I saw, and I was so upset too because when I had to fly back, so I booked my flight before TIFF released their schedule.
Oh, yeah,
So I
that's
was,
right.
and everybody was like, usually the first weekend is like that's when they put all the like the really good titles. So I was like, okay, well I'll just fly back like Monday morning and I'll be back in LA, like Monday afternoon or something like that. No big deal because I was like, oh, for sure they're not going to show anything on Monday. Sure enough, as my plane was taking off, they were premiering Joker, and that was like my top to watch list. And I was just like, man, I miss Joker. So I would have loved to have watched it at TIFF. Oh, Jojo Rabbit was another one that premiered at TIFF last year. So good. And Bad Education, I saw that too. A Marriage Story. Now it's coming back. Now I'm like, well, yeah, okay. So I'm excited about TIFF this year. There's a lot of titles I'm super excited about, and if they go digital, and if hopefully this means that because like the theaters won't be at capacity, right?
Yeah.
Because everything is digital. Hopefully that means that because sometimes, kind of like a Comic-Con, you want to see the panels, you either can't get in because they've hit capacity, or it happens at the same time as another one, which is usually when you do a convention or an event such as TIFF or Comic-Con, it kind of happens in the same way with scheduling. So you gotta really, really know how to schedule. And I gotta shout out Scott Menzel from HCA, who like single-handedly like scheduled my entire week and goes, you're gonna be seeing and just like it was so helpful to have for someone to hold your hand and kind of say, this is how you do TIFF. And then next year when I go back and I'm like, this is how I do TIFF, let's go. So I will miss having that last year because we all stayed together, we saw a lot of the movies together, we ate dinner together, and it was just a really fun group of just like movie loving people. So much fun. Let's see.
And that was pretty good. I mean, that's probably also the best way to do something like TIFF, is to have an expert with you, to be like, okay, this is what you're going to do. And so the first time you're there, you're like, okay, I can now do this myself next time, now that I've had very much a helping hand.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much more enjoyable when you have a very capable guide.
Yes.
And that's what I was looking forward to, because I was going to have my very capable guide.
I mean, I'm no expert by any means, but I would have known at least how to get around and which theater to go and who to talk to and this and that. And if not, everybody at TIFF is super, super helpful. Like all the volunteers are really, really amazing, and they're all super nice. And there was a point where I was walking down King Street, and there was like a little room, and you can go in. They're like, "Oh, would you like some free cocoa and marshmallow?" And I'm like, "What? Okay."
You're like,
why not?
Yes, I would. I would take some free hot chocolate and marshmallows.
Exactly. And the weather was beautiful. It was great. This is a great comment by MK Songbird. Really looking forward to the third day miniseries with Jude Law and Naomi Harris premiering at TIFF. Miniseries airing in September on HBO. And you guys like don't sleep on TIFF films. Usually they end up kind of like a Parasite and a Knives Out, Jojo Rabbit, and Bad Education, which I still don't feel like enough people saw Bad Education. I saw that. Bad Education, it was either Bad Education or Marriage Story was the very last film I watched at TIFF, and I literally had my luggage with me.
Oh, while you were watching the movie?
Yeah, and it was tough because like I had a middle seat, so I had to like, because every single screening is full, and I was just kind of like, okay. And then as soon as the movie ended, I was like, gotta go, bye. I called a Lyft, and I was off to the airport. And I was just kind of like, how am I going to review this movie? I won't be able to do it until I got back. So Yeah, don't sleep on these movies, you guys. And we also have another super chat from Chris.
Woo!
Here we go. This is not a Chris's choice. This is just Chris asking question. Thank you so much, Chris, for your super chat. And the question is, how do you make your popcorn at home? I do on a stovetop in a pot, melt my butter, pour in a bowl, add my butter and my white cheddar seasoning. Well, Chris, I can tell you right now
Ooh.
that we do not put as much care into our popcorn as you do. You literally just put us to shame because
Yeah.
we just reach into our cabinet, our pantry, and we take out a little microwavable package and we unwrap the thingy and we go throw it into the microwave and we close the door. And we do this differently. Dustin inputs the time. I put in
the popcorn button.
And then you just listen for it. And once it starts popping every now and again, then you take it out even if the timer is not done. Otherwise, you're going to burn your popcorn. Don't do that.
Now, one of the things is too, one of the main reasons why I've kind of always done microwave popcorn is because when we were younger, my older brother was huge into his popcorn. It had to be done perfectly. Like he would measure, you okay?
Yeah.
He would measure out exactly how much butter to put in. He would use this little spoon and sprinkle a little bit of butter, mix it in, put a little salt on, mix it in. And his popcorn was always amazing.
Yeah.
And I was never able to get my popcorn to taste as good. I wasn't nearly as patient or as artisan, I guess you can say. So I always kind of just did with the microwave popcorn. But even though, Chris, you now have gotten me, I'm like, you know what? I really need to start doing that. I need to actually go and actually do popcorn the right way.
There are these popcorn makers that you can use the microwave, but you use the actual popcorn kernel that you buy in a little jar or whatever, and you can add butter and seasoning. And I've been wanting to get that, but then I'm just kind of like, well, we don't really eat popcorn that much.
Yeah, normally when we watch movies, we're eating them. We're eating our dinner.
Yeah, or Cheez-Its.
Or Cheez-Its.
I love Cheez-Its.
Or lots and lots of
sponsor us, Cheez-Its. Send me a whole truckload of supplies.
Wendy will eat all of
I will bathe. Okay, that's gross. I was gonna say I will bathe in Cheez-Its, but that's a little gross. Yeah. I will sit in a tub of Cheez-Its and eat it. Yeah. So, and I don't know if there's anybody else making popcorn the way Chris does. Chris, I think you might be the popcorn connoisseur out of the movie bunch here, because no one else is writing anything on about this. And also throwing it to everybody who's watching on Twitch. Starju says Scott Manson's total expert. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a pro. Yeah. When it comes to, I mean, there's sometimes where I'm just like, he can blow me away with his knowledge.
I can't do the impression of Scott Mans. I just sound like I'm excited. But Scott Mans is great. Him and I and Gray Drake and Carla Renata, aka the Curvy Critic, got to co-host season 3 of You Know That Scene with Focus Features. So that's on the Focus Feature YouTube channel. Shameless plugging here. Go check it out. There's 2 episodes that are up where we talk about what's that election movie with Steve Carell?
Oh yeah, Irresistible.
And The High Note, which are 2 movies I highly recommend. I don't know if there's any new episodes yet. I should probably check, but there should be 4 episodes total. No, 3. Well, anyways, there's 2. There's 2 out right now. Let's see. Blade GTR says, our microwave is broken and we had to wait on back order to get a new one. Oh no. So now I've been doing Jiffy Pop. And I think that's the one that's...
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's also a good way to do popcorn. I love...
fun.
It's just shaking it and you see... And you start getting that little metal dome. It's so satisfying.
I've always burned mine every single time. My mom's like, when I was little, when we'd go camping, and somebody would have it, and so we would do it, and it just every time I had it, I would burn it. So now I'm just kind of like, I'll just watch other people do it. Obviously,
yeah,
I can't handle my popcorn. David chimes in on the popcorn talk, you guys. David says I'm a microwave popcorn guy too. There are rare occasions I eat it. Not actually a big fan of popcorn. When I go to the theater, I prefer peanut M&Ms, yum, or potato chips of some kind. Hot dogs too. Yes. Yeah, I think my favorite popcorn is either Disneyland popcorn that we miss so much, or El Capitan popcorn, because it's kind of the same thing.
Place.
Or movie theater popcorn specifically. The ArcLight one's really, really good. Just ask them to layer you. God, I miss popcorn. I miss the theater. Okay, we have to move on from this topic before I get depressed. Okay, you guys. Let's talk about, before we hop into AMA, because I already saw some questions coming in, and I know I have to now scroll way back up to get some of the questions. But we have an announcement from Disney slash Pixar of their next film, and it's called Luca. So here is what we know about it. Pixar Animation Studio announced yesterday, I think, or maybe the day before, that its next feature film release will be Luca. This is directed by Academy Award nominee Enrico Casarosa, who did La Luna, the short, and produced by Andrea Warren, who did Lava and Cars 3. So Lucas is set to open the US theaters on June 18th, 2021, and the setting is in a beautiful seaside town on the Italian Riviera. And the original animated feature is a coming of age story about one young boy experiencing an unforgettable summer filled with gelato, pasta, and endless scooter rides. God, that sounds like such a dream. Lucas shares these adventures with his newfound best friend, but all the fun is threatened by a deeply held secret. He is a sea monster from another world just below the water's surface. Wow. And here's a quote from the director. This is a deeply personal story for me, not only because it's set on the Italian Riviera where I grew up, but because of at the core of this film is a celebration of friendship. Childhood friendships often set the course of who we want to be, and it is those bonds that are the heart of our story in Luca. So, in addition to the beauty and charm of the Italian seaside, our film will feature an unforgettable summer adventure that will fundamentally change Luca. So, and I'm not saying this to like say they're copying anybody, but when I initially read the description, it gave me a little bit of like Ponyo vibes. Just a little,
Oh,
like as in like the girl who is also like kind of like, you know, one with the sea creature type of
yeah.
a parallel. And then there's also the seaside. But other than that, this sounds like so much fun. And I know the photo we have just looks really colorful, and like, you know, like the kids like jumping off the cliff, diving into the cool water. And then in the description they said gelatos, pasta, and endless fun. I was like, yes, I would like endless pasta and endless gelato, please and thank you.
And also, I mean, what's still kind of weird though, honestly, is that Pixar is announcing Luca, which don't get me wrong, gets me excited.
Yes.
But we still also haven't seen Soul, hasn't come out yet.
Raya
Raya
and
the
the
Last
Last
Dragon
Dragon.
hasn't come out. I mean, like, well, the fact that we're getting movies like maybe like 3 or 4 in a
Yeah.
row, like
Yeah.
like we haven't gotten to see some of these movies yet because they've been delayed and postponed. So
Mhm.
we're just going to all of a sudden just get this incredible dump of amazing movies all at once. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they'll start pushing them back and starting to what is that called? Kind of strategically put these out, even though they've probably been sitting around finished for a while.
Yeah.
Because at least animation, I feel like they can do a lot more on the production side of animation
Mhm.
during the pandemic than they could live action movies.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
not saying that they can do everything, but they can do a lot more.
Yes.
So, it makes sense that they're like, these productions aren't getting slowed down as much.
Yes.
So, I'm excited to be able to see all of these Pixar movies.
I mean, if they all decided to just want to come out next year and I can just go to the movie theater every single day of my life, that would be fantastic, because who knows what kind of a release schedule we are actually going to get here in the States. There hasn't been any new movies in theaters because we haven't been able to go to theaters. So there are movies that's been out on VOD. So like Seberg, like Amazon Studio did a bunch of them, like Seberg, Radioactive. There's just been a whole bunch. Like Netflix is essentially killing it in the streaming game. So, but I really do, and you guys have heard us say this over and over, I really do miss the theater experience. So I want to go back
Really
into the
bad.
theaters next year with all of my friends and just like laugh and eat popcorn and have a great time. And let's just hope that COVID never ever comes back again.
Exactly.
Let's
And I'm
just hope
actually a
that.
little jealous because what was it? I can't, because it scrolled by and I kind of just glanced at it. Someone did mention that in the UK, the theaters are going to be opening up
Yes,
mid-August.
I saw that as
And
well.
I was like, that's awesome. And honestly, a part of me is kind of like, good for you. It's the UK is getting their act together so they can start watching movies.
Yeah.
They can. Oh, okay. So yeah, it was Jack.
Well, he says in the UK, we have Mulan coming on August 18th, and August is going to be such a great month. And I know a lot of people have been looking forward to Mulan. And there was another, I thought, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Jack says the 7th of August, his local cinema is opening up. You know, another thing I can see us for the US to be doing, and they have already started to do it, is drive-ins. We
Yeah.
can all make a comeback because you're inside your car, and we can social distance like by parking our cars, and you don't have to wear a mask because your windows will be up.
Hmm.
So as long as you do that, and I would pay the price to go see a movie just to kind of, it's not quite the movie experience,
Yeah.
but if you wanted to talk during the movie, you could technically, if you want to be one of those like people that talk loudly during the movie and you're in your own
Yeah.
car,
Have your windows up. Don't have to
you're not
worry.
bothering anybody. You're not
Hmm.
bothering anybody. So that's a plus. And so we could potentially see that kind of being the new way to go for movie theaters. We just got to find a space because like there's only so many parking structures in LA
Yeah.
that's able to do that setup, but
Well, and
it's
you
not like it
couldn't
can't
even
be done.
you couldn't even really do it for a parking structure. You would need a huge empty lot
Yeah.
to be able to pull in all of these cars and have that big white screen up.
Yeah.
Because
Limited capacity.
if you do it in a parking structure, you're not really able to fit that many cars, and you're not going to have that probably that good of a screen to use.
They've been doing it in parking structures. Like they did it in the we just talked about it on Wednesday. The
Yeah, they did it in the
Americana.
Americana.
So Street Food Cinemas is the one that's been doing, for the ones that I've seen, they've been doing a lot of it. So I can just see them continuing the trend and just finding even better venues and expanding and whatnot. So that's really fun. But yeah, Luca sounds like a great time. We love Pixar here in the movie couple household, so we welcome any Pixar film, or we are always ready for them to make us cry.
Yep. Laugh,
Yeah.
cry,
Laugh,
hold onto your
cry.
seat, bite your nails, all of that stuff.
Shove popcorn in your mouth. You're like, oh my god, I can't take the pressure. I can't do it. All right, you guys. Let's go ahead and move on to our Ask Us Anything AMA segment. And I already saw some of the questions. I think Jack sent this in super early before, and so we'll go ahead and read it now. And Jack says, how do movies inspire you guys?
Oh, well, for me, the main reason why I like going to the movies is because I want to be entertained.
Yes.
That is my primary goal when I usually go to a movie theater. That's why I'm a huge fan of like Marvel movies. I'm a huge fan of action movies. I'm a huge fan of like family comedies and animated films. Is because my main desire is to be entertained and to come out in a lighter mood than I was before. That's why I usually get put off by usually some other films, and Wendy has to be like, no, 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 you have to see this movie. Parasite.
Doctor Sleep.
Doctor Sleep was another one, and
Quiet Place is next.
You still have to.
I know.
Gotta
do
but
it.
what was the oh shoot, I can't remember the
What's
Get Out.
So
kind of a
good.
thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I love those movies, but it usually takes a little bit more for me to go to those kinds of movies as opposed to more entertaining and more uplifting movies.
I remember when I said, do you want to come and watch The Visit with me? And it was the film that was released by M. Night Shyamalan. And I was like, it's not going to be good or whatever. And I was like, do you want to come? It's a horror movie. And he was like, yeah, sure, why not? And he was in such a terrible mood after the movie, not because he didn't like the movie, but because it is like horror based and that's just not his jam. And some people avoid horror, and that's totally fine. But I was kind of like, wait, are you mad at me for asking you to be? You could have said no, and my +1 would have gone to somebody else. So from now on, I'm always like, are you sure you want to go? And then he'll think about it, and he'll say no. I was like, you're never obligated to say yes. I can more than happy to take somebody else to watch it.
I am a little bit picky when it comes to the movies that I get excited to go and see. Now, I mean, but there's still a lot of movies out there that are amazing movies. Like, but you only want to see them once, kind of a thing. Like Schindler's List. You only want to see that movie once, and then after that, you're like, you know what? I
have the DVD.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've maybe rewatched it once. It's hard. It's a hard rewatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do movies inspire me? I look at it in all, like a lot of from different angles. I look at it from like a performer's angle, from an actor's angle, where when I watch certain people's performance, I am inspired by it to, continue training with acting, continue studying. Or if I look at a production value or certain shots and I'm just kind of like, wow, that's really amazing. Or sometimes the story itself, like the journey of a character, really, really inspire me. And that's usually kind of like finding your voice. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's usually movies like that I'm kind of like, yes, because you can relate to like XYZ characters in the same way that that books inspire me. So there's a lot of movies that I always feel like very personal too, that I'm just kind of like, not just it's a good story, but it's, I can kind of see myself as one of the characters in the movie and kind of be parallel to their journey, and seeing it, so you can kind of take it and walk away with like a message. I'm not saying you're copying, like, because who knows what your outcome, and this is real life, so we don't know what the outcome's going to be, right? It's not scripted. Life is not scripted. So but I do kind of like seeing these movies where it's kind of like that feels so much like what I'm going through right now, and it's almost like seeing it play out. It almost feels like an outlet if you're having a hard time, or if you experienced something like this in the past and you kind of go, oh yeah, it's not just me, something like that. So Jack, go ahead.
You look for those movies that are inspiring movies, the ones that are designed to kind of make you grow a little bit more. That's your jam.
Yeah, it is super my jam. And then also like any sort of like action movies where I'm just kind of like, yes, I'm gonna go home and work out. And then I
want to get pumped like Vin Diesel.
I do it for 3 days straight, and then I'm like, no, I'm tired, I'm done.
Yeah, it's really hard to stick to that routine. Like I remember an interview that they did with Chris Pratt.
Okay.
And Chris Pratt was kind of talking about how he does not do well. He did not do well on the superhero workout. And there was a time when they
Pratt
did not.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think they never showed him shirtless in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, okay.
Was because he's like, I'm not getting back into that kind of shape again.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's tough. Hard. It is grueling.
It's your entire diet is flipped upside down.
And someone was talking about, he was there at the interview with his reps, and was someone there to like keep an eye on him to make sure he doesn't like
Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To go against his diet. And there was popcorn on the table. For 1 second, his like before they had started the interview, both his publicist and the person to watch him had like walked out of the room, and he just reached over, like grabbed this huge hand of popcorn and started shoving it into his face.
You miss that kind of food. You miss it.
And I was like, oh my God, that would be me so much. I would have been right there with you, Chris, to where I would have been like, they're not looking.
They're not looking. Stall them. Noah has a great question. Speaking of theaters, are you excited for Sonic the Hedgehog movie 2, which is releasing on April 8th, 2022? And how hyped are you for Into the Spider-Verse 2, which is releasing on October 7th, 2022? Wendy and Dustin. Scale of 1 to 10, I would say the excitement is at 10, especially if you watched Sonic and the Hedgehog and you stayed through the credit, and then you know what we're going to be getting in the next one. And it is awesome. It is so awesome. It's very exciting. We can't wait. And I think Into the Spider-Verse is just a no-brainer for us.
Oh, yeah.
We absolutely love the first movie to the point where, like, we want just like anything that's on TV while we're making dinner or something like that, just to have something on, we will put on Into the Spider-Verse, and then we just end up kind of not cooking dinner and watching the movie. We're just like standing there with a spatula and we're like,
oh yeah, that's right. We gotta, but the Into the Spider-Verse, yeah, no brainer, because they can do so much. They can go in any direction that they want because of the multiverse. Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm excited for, because it was one of those movies that at first I was just like, are you kidding me? We technically asked for this movie like maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But I was like, who's going to watch this movie? Then when we went to go see it, I was like, oh, I was very pleasantly surprised.
So much fun.
And I'm like, they did a good job setting it up for Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yes. Yeah.
Super excited for that, because I'm like, this is great. Jim Carrey fit this role perfectly.
Yes.
I'm kind of excited to see where they go with Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested in seeing these.
Absolutely.
So, but we still have 2 years. 2 years.
I mean, it should be no problem. I hopefully, there's no delays, knock on wood.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're both very, very excited for both of those movies.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ricky, for your top 10 recommendations. Top 10 movies of Bollywood. Hold on, I gotta screen cap this. Did I do it? Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Hi, Dustin. So the top 10 movies of Bollywood is War, Malang, Bang Bang or Bang Bang, Bang Bang, Bagi 2. Okay, it's like a sequel. Do we need to see the first one then? number 5, Kapoor and Sons. Sorry, I'm gonna say all these names wrong. Uda Punjab, Student of the Year, Kabir Singh, Bakir, Bagi, and it has songs in the movies. Yeah, I really like what I really like with Bollywood movies that it's always kind of like a K-pop video.
Yeah,
where the scale of the set, the costume, the production value, and the music is like huge.
It really is kind of like just a huge Broadway production where you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like just put everything that's awesome in there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, thank you for that. I screenshot it so we can hopefully find these on VOD.
Yep.
And even if we can't do a reaction to it, which I know you guys love to see, but assuming if they're not blocked, then we will put up some trailer stuff. But if they are blocked, then we will just go ahead and review the movie for you. So thank you so much for you didn't have to send that in a super chat, but I appreciate it. I wonder if you sent it before.
I think I
just missed it because there's so much.
Yeah. I think I kind of saw it, and then all of a sudden.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I screen capped it so you won't have to write that again. Kind of going back to Sonic Star Jude from Twitch. Sonic, it was just the look that went wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, honestly,
the first trailer. I know you have your conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, my conspiracy theory, but I wasn't going to talk about that.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
But honestly, yeah, that first trailer too, despite the look, despite the way that they animated Sonic, the way the trailer was put together wasn't very good. It didn't, for some reason,
first one,
it didn't get me excited, despite the way Sonic looked. I think even if they had Sonic looking the way he did, that first trailer just did not get me excited.
Yeah.
The second trailer did. Because then I was like, wait, is this the same movie?
Yeah.
This really didn't seem like the same kind of promotional material that they had put out. They had some of the same scenes, but the way that they edited them together made it flow better, made you get a better concept of what the movie was going to be like.
Yeah.
So it was weird. Yeah, the first trailer was a bomb.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second one was just so much more, oh, now I'm interested to see this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we really enjoyed Sonic so much because it can be seen as a family film, but I really think it, for everybody who grew up playing Sonic, it's an all age movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Question from, go ahead, were you going to say something?
Oh no, I was just going to talk about how it was, say, oh, it's a buddy cop movie, but you know what? Every movie kind of fits into a genre. It all depends on how you execute it.
Well,
and
certainly,
I thought they executed it.
I don't know
well.
if I would call it a coming of age. I would say buddy cop adventure. It's a good way to put it. The next question comes from Vanja, who writes, Splinter Cell series anime in the works. 2 seasons greenlit by writers of John Wick. Will you guys watch it? Ooh,
oh yeah. Now,
okay.
I do have to admit,
interested.
I'm going to put I haven't played Splinter Cell.
Me
it
neither.
Wasn't one of the game one of the big games that I played, but I know there's a huge following and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
But anytime you take a video game and translate it into an anime, that's when you start getting really interesting concepts in there. You can actually do so much more in an anime and tell a really cool, interesting story.
Yeah.
So I think I remember scrolling through it and I kind of like, oh yeah, cool. They're making a Splinter Cell something. But I kind of scrolled past it. But yeah, hearing this.
Writer of John Wick.
John Wick. Woo! I'm like, oh.
Sign
and the fact that they went straight to 2 seasons makes me feel like they're like, hey, we're really excited about this. We actually have some good material here. And to have a studio go, yeah, we agree with you. Let's make 2 seasons of this right off the bat.
Yes. Yeah. Sounds great. I know Vanja's been trying to get me to play Splinter Cell. And I'm just like, I haven't had the chance to. We don't even own the game, do we?
No,
we don't.
Unfortunately, we do not.
Get that first. But I need to also finish building my island on Animal Crossing because I really hate where it is right now. And I don't know if anybody caught it. I actually did a quick little stream just to test out stuff on Twitch because we bought Wendy a capture card.
We've got some new toys that we're experimenting with.
Yeah, so I tried it today. It took me 2 hours to figure out. No big deal, because I've never used Twitch in the way of like capturing gaming. I've watched tons of people stream and they make it look so easy. And also I had a dinky little computer that wouldn't be able to handle the process anyway. So I've never done it. And whenever I would stream on Twitch, it would just be like, I think some of you guys caught our like late night board game streaming. We did
We gotta do
that.
that again. That was fun.
We might do once we get our dining room table back. We will absolutely do it. And so this morning I did a very quick test of me playing Animal Crossing. So I'm gonna do a little bit more further testing to see how it works. So I'm gonna try to go. I don't know. I can't promise if it's gonna be today or whatever, but definitely we'll be back on Twitch to do more testing. And then I'm also gonna, I think if Chris is still in here, I'm gonna try to see if I can make OBS work on Live It as well, so we can finally actually get some gameplay footage on Live It. So we will see. We will see. Let's see. This is a question from Noah. I'm going to ask you this one time. Where is Gamora? I do you one better. Who is Gamora?
Oh yeah, I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
Oh my god, I love Drax. Drax is just always in there. Why is Gamora? Who is Gamora?
I have mastered the art of staying so perfectly still, I turn invisible.
Hi, Drax. I love their dynamic. They're one of the See, I want to always say like, oh, this is the reason why I love Guardians of the Galaxy, but when I take a look back at all the comments that I make, I think I can say that at least once about every single character in Guardians of the Galaxy. So I love it. Blade GTR says that is the hook of Animal Crossing. You will never finish your island. Blade GTR, I don't even have terraforming yet. Haven't even gotten yet. Casey has not visited my island because I haven't even found a place for the campsite, the visitor on the campsite to come in. I've spent a lot of bells, so I'm starting to do that too. But yeah, I haven't even cracked open Paper Mario. It's still like wrapped in the plastic. Haven't even cracked it open because I was waiting for this whole like Twitch gaming thing for me to figure out, and I almost gave up too. I almost gave up, but I was like, man, I don't know if I can figure this out. I'm just gonna return everything. But I was like, no, I'm not giving up. I'm doing this. All right, we've got like 10 minutes left on our stream, so I want to take the time because I don't know if everybody. Oh yeah, no, Vanja's here too. We wanted to debut our movie bunch photo collage. So thank you to everybody who sent in their photo, and we're gonna show it to you. Oh, hold on, I gotta take this little banner off. 1 second. Okay, you guys ready? 1, 2, 3.
Here we go.
Ta-da!
Oh, you gotta move that banner.
Oh, wait. Okay. And we can't see the people on the bottom. Hide.
There we go.
Yay! So we have our fellow movie bunch, of course, with Falcor and Navi. So I apologize, it is not the best. I actually might want to move the movie bunch a little bit to the right, so I might redo this whole thing. Not the whole thing, just the middle. Just the middle. But there is our representative of movie bunch, everybody who sent in their photos. Thank you so much. Falcor and Navi didn't get a choice whether or not they could send in a photo because I have way too many photos of
because
them.
They're right here. Navi bunch.
She's like, Dad, put me down.
Hey, that's what you get when you start coming over here begging for loves while we're on a live stream.
I'm
gonna pick you up like a little baby and give you belly rubs.
Oh my gosh. So everybody who sent in their photos, I'm going to be emailing you after the stream, and I'll send you an actual copy, like the PDF or word, not the PDF, the file of the collage after I fix the middle, so it's more centered. Because now I'm seeing, I'm like, oh. So thank you so much for everybody who contributed to our movie bunch. That's kind of a little thank you from us to you, and thank you for those who sent me multiple choices, because there's a couple of you guys that like sent in multiple photo options, and I was like, ooh, because I tried it with some of them, and then I like moved it around and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun, and you guys, thank you so much. Okay, do we have any more questions? If not, then we will go ahead and end our shorter stream, more casual stream for the day. Oh, here's one from Jack. What if Captain Marvel joined the Battle of Wakanda? Wanda would have killed Thanos, and she would have destroyed the ships.
Very true. I mean, it would have
right there and then, instead of at Endgame, at the very end.
Yeah, and that would be the big problem, though, is that would have been the end of the end of the war, pretty much, because
she's so powerful.
Captain Marvel is just very overpowered to
Yes.
where she would have been able to come in, destroy
Mhm.
all of the creature. I can't remember what the creatures are called. Um, but
Oh,
and
those
all the ships,
dogs
all of those,
things, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and be able to have stopped Thanos from getting all of the Infinity Stones.
Mhm.
So I think that would have been, because it looked like he barely made it to the end of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was barely able to get that last gem.
But it was really cool to see Captain Marvel show up though. Like at the end. It
Yeah,
was pretty badass, so I got to
I
say.
just thought it was really cool. Yeah, they're shooting down. Oh, listen. Well, I'm assuming everyone here has seen it, but then all of a sudden, the guns on the ship just go, and they're just shooting. You're like, what are they
What
shooting
yeah,
at?
what is that? Oh, so we should watch that movie again today.
Yep.
Debbie, I see your comment about the recommendations for sports documentaries. Athlete A, that's on Netflix, that is on our watch list, and then the other one on HBO, I will add that to the list of 50 million things that we have to watch. So make sure, I just want to let you know that we did get it. And a question from Vanja: Wendy, would you consider making clips for cooking? What do you mean? Like a video? We oh, did my phone turn off? Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe.
What almost. Okay. So on Live It, which is if you have social media, if you're okay with downloading social media, it's not like a Twitter or an Instagram. It's a little bit more similar to like a Twitch. But more so just like people hanging out and talking. It is called Live It, Livit. So I'm on there and you can get it on your phone, whether it's iPhone or Android, and you can also watch it on your desktop. And I think it's 17media.com. Hold on. Live 17. I gotta look it up real quick. Sorry. Okay, it's 17.live. And then you can just create an account. It's all free. You don't have to buy anything to download it or to use it. And so I do dinner, like cooking sessions
Mm-hmm.
on Live It a lot, just because it's fun. Oh wait, okay. Before we go, this just happened, so it made me think of it.
Huh?
The AC kicked on, so the apartment vibrated a little bit, and I kind of braced myself, and I was
Oh,
like, "Oh gosh!"
I think I know where you're going with
So
this.
yeah, yesterday I woke up, and I was just kind of like laying in bed. It was like around 7 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what time. It was early. It was earlier in the morning, and I felt okay, no. First thing I do when I wake up is I reach over, I grab my phone, kind of check my email, check the weather, and then I go on Twitter if I don't feel like going back right back to sleep, or if I don't feel like putting my phone down, which is like 99% of the time. I'm like doom scrolling on Twitter. Here we go. And of course, like LA earthquake and earthquake, both of those terms, like words, were trending, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, huh, there was an earthquake. So apparently at like 4 a.m. there was a 4.2 earthquake near Pacoima, California, which we're pretty far away from, and slept right through it.
Oh,
I slept.
yeah.
I mean, you did
I
too.
did too.
You're like, oh, and I was like, well, you didn't wake up. And
Well, I'm just about this. She put her head right there, and I was like,
it's really
oh.
cute. They
Sorry.
can't see because of the here. I'll move it.
Move the movie.
I'll move it
Navi's little face.
there
Navi's little. I'm
like
sorry.
that.
I got a puppy on my lap.
Um. So I was like, oh, I missed the earthquake. Okay, all the better, because like I actually don't like I don't enjoy earthquakes. I don't like feeling them. I don't like preparing for them. They scare me because there's no warning. Um. And then lo and behold, like as I was reading the tweet, and like Dustin kind of got up to like once he started walking around the apartment, and he came back into the room, and I went, do you feel that? And our bed rattled for like just like 2 seconds maybe, and I was like, was
Mm-hmm.
that an earthquake? And then I refreshed my Twitter feed, and there it was, an earthquake, and it was a really small one. I was like a 3 point something, which usually I don't feel anything that's like below a 4 something. So the fact that I felt it was kind of, I was like, am I just getting like too sensitive to these things? I don't want to. So yeah, LA earthquake. The best way to know whether or not you were in an LA earthquake, if you're not sure if you felt it, is to go on Twitter or
Mm-hmm.
Facebook
Was that an
and
earthquake? Look
check.
on Twitter.
Yeah,
It'll
and
pop up.
immediately everybody was just like, oh, it was an earthquake. I enjoyed the song "Earthquake" by Tyler the Creator, if that counts. Nice. Jack says that must have been a scary experience. No, it was not a scary experience. The scariest one was when we were sitting at home. I was messing with like our podcast setting and trying to figure out sounds and stuff like that. And the whole apartment shook, and it shook for a while. And that was the first time I actually freaked out. And I actually was like, I put myself in action, because it wasn't so shaky that we couldn't get up. We could still get up and walk around and
Yeah.
be okay. I grabbed the dogs. I didn't have time to put on shoes. I don't know why. I had no shoes on. I just walked outside, and like everybody like in the apartments and in the houses on our streets all came outside, and they're just like, earthquake, huh? Yeah, that was a big enough one where everybody kind of went outside. So there's that.
And I've grown up in LA my entire life. So I'm so used to earthquakes. I'm very well trained in when the earthquake happens, dive under the table. I still remember the first earthquake. You and our friend, when we were about ready to head out for a trip, an earthquake happened.
For our honeymoon.
It was for our honeymoon. He was taking us to the airport.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the earthquake hit. That's their first earthquake.
In California. It is not my first earthquake ever, because I lived in Taiwan. We get little tremors all the time.
So I immediately dove under the table, and they're just standing there. They're like, "What do we do? What do we do?" I'm like, "Get under the table."
There. We're like, "Huh?" By the time we started to duck, it was over, and I was like, "Okay, we don't have to do that anymore." Yeah, it was. I like to be prepared. I'm used to hurricanes. Like living in Florida, we get hurricanes. And those you get a nice warning because you can see it coming. Can't really see an earthquake coming, and you maybe get a few minutes, maybe a few seconds before it goes off.
It just happens.
Like it just kind of happens. So yeah, it's not the happiest with earthquakes. All right, you guys, we are gonna go ahead and sign off. Thank you so much for having such a fun, casual, relaxing stream with us today. We will be back next Wednesday with more topics and more fun. And I'm gonna put our little
movie couple news.
And more movie couple news. And I'm just gonna put up our little movie bunch banner back up because I love it so much, and I love our movie bunch so much, and the puppies as well. We will see you guys in the next stream.